Hi friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today is the 5 under 5 challenge. I'll let you know more about that in a few minutes. But first of all, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda and this is my Oliver. And if you're returning, well, you guys are the best. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I'm going to take this picture frame that I got at a thrift store for $1.48. The back is a little worn. I'm going to try, I think I'm going to fix that at another point, but I'm just going to remove everything from the frame, including the glass. And I cleaned the glass really well with some alcohol. And then I painted the frame with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Ocean. And then once it was all dry, I took my Waverly it's white wax, sorry. And I'm just going to go over, I wanted to go over that braided area. And I'm just going to kind of, I was getting it on the edge there. I was wiping it off, but then I started wiping off some of that excess wax. And I just decided to go ahead and do that all the way around. And then I really liked actually how it was showing up on some of the other areas. So I just went ahead and just went around the whole frame and just added some of that wax. And then I would just kind of wipe off the excess with my paper towel there. Or maybe that's a baby wipe. I think I used a baby wipe, but and then I just did that until my eyes were happy. And once I was done, I took my glass here and I'm laying it down on this beautiful napkin I got a year or two ago at decoupagenapkin.com. It's one of my favorite places to get napkins. And I cut it all out, and then I'm adding some Mod Podge onto my glass. I'm going to remove the 2 plies that are behind that napkin, and I laid it down, and then I'm going to turn my glass over and lay it on top of my napkin, just like you see right there. And I just kind of press it down, not too hard because I didn't want to break the glass, but I just want to make sure that that napkin adheres to the glass. And then once I noticed a little area there that got missed, so I just add a little more Mod Podge and just gently rubbed it in with my finger, very gently, because napkins will tear very easily. When you do stuff like that. So I'm going to just take some more Mod Podge, put it all over the back of that just to help protect it, give it that protective layer, and then I let it dry. Once it was dry, I put it back into my frame. I took the backing of that napkin because I didn't want you to see the cardboard, and then I just replaced everything. It looked kind of cool without that napkin backing because it had a brownish tone to the background, but I decided I liked the white better. Then I took some of these solo wood flowers that I had in my stash, and I'm just going to hot glue a few of them on the top left corner. And then after I have all of those in there, I had some lace ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby years ago. It's been in my stash for quite a few years. I think it was the first Christmas I started my channel, I used these. You know what? I'm lying to you. I'm sorry. No, this one is from, I think this one is from Dollar Tree, actually. Oh my goodness. I have too much ribbon. I don't know where I get it all from half the time. I just made a regular shoestring bow, glued it to the top corner, and we have a beautiful, just kind of a shabby chic picture frame. I love it. You like my shadow there? I love that napkin. I just thought it was gorgeous. You have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. So today is the 5 under 5 challenge. This happens on the 5th of every month, and it's hosted every month by Emily with Emily Charm Chic. This month's guest host is Buffie with Buffie Designs, and the theme for this month is Decoupage Decor. So I know you probably know who these women are, but if you don't, make sure you check out their channels. They're very great grafters, and I know you won't be disappointed. I'll have links to them and the playlist in my description box below. So here's DIY number 2. So I'm going to take one of these picture frames. No, I don't know what they are, but they're from Dollar Tree. I painted it with my Waverly chalk paint in the color white, and then I went over the top edge here with Waverly chalk paint in the color Fern. It's a pretty bright green, but I needed that to match. That was the green that matched the napkins that I'm going to use the best. Then I took this little wood house from Dollar Tree. I painted it white as well. And then I'm just going to go over the chimney with that same fern color. And then after I carefully painted that chimney. I'm going to go around the whole edge of it with that same fern color. Then after that was all done, I went and I coated the middle part of my picture with my Mod Podge. And once I have it all brushed in, I'm going to set aside and let it dry, which only takes a few minutes. And then I took some of these little reed wood pieces that I get from Amazon. They are in my Amazon store if you're interested in it. They come with a ton of them and they don't cost a whole lot and they last forever. But anyways, I'm going to cut them down. As you saw, I was marking where I wanted to cut it. I'm using my miter shears, which I believe I also have in my Amazon store. These are amazing. If you don't have any, I would suggest getting some. They really do help when it comes to cutting a little thicker items. And I'm just going to cut those things down and I'm going to paint them with that same fern color, just the top part and the sides and the ends. And once they were all dry, then I am going to glue them onto the top of my house. And I'm just going to use my Tight Bond Quick and Thick multi-purpose glue. I get this from Walmart. I'm just going to glue them in place. It does not take this glue very long at all to set. So if I know that I'm not going to be moving it around, then I will just use that and not the hot glue. Then I took this napkin here. I don't know where I got this. Somebody sent me this when I was participating in a napkin exchange playlist. And I'm sorry, I don't remember who sent this to me, but I'm just going to cut out the part that says Home Sweet Home. Now, this napkin is a very weird napkin. It's almost like a cloth, but it's not cloth. So I don't know how to explain it. So anyways, I'm just going to cover my house with the Mod Podge. I did let that dry again. And then while that was drying, I took this napkin. I don't know where I got this one either. I don't remember if I ordered this from decoupagenapkin.com or if I got this from another exchange, but I got it somewhere and I loved it. So I decided I'm going to put this one in the inside part of my picture here, or frame, or whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to put my parchment paper over it to protect that napkin, and then I'm going to use my heat press that reactivates that Mod Podge, so then that way the napkin sticks to it. And then after I had each corner done, and it is kind of hard to get to the corners, but that's okay, because if you don't get through the corners, you can just use your paintbrush to add a little Mod Podge over it and just let it dry and stick. So I'm just going to go over the top part of it with some more Mod Podge to help give it that protective layer. And then I will let that dry. And once this was all dry, I think my next step is I take my house. Yep. And I'm going to use Mod Podge again. I'm going to, well, I had already added Mod Podge to the house. It was dry. I'm doing the same thing as I did with the picture, using my parchment paper. And then after that, I'm going to go over it again with some more Mod Podge. And once I am done, I am going to let that dry. And then I'm going to use some more of that Tight Bond multi-purpose glue, and I'm going to go all the way around the back of it. Look at that brush. I absolutely love that. Kathy Jo got me that for my birthday, and it works great on my bigger projects. It just, I love it. It just goes right through that glue and smooths it so nicely. It's great. After I have this all completed, look, I still got that one section there. I'm just going to brush it all over there. I'm going to glue that right on top. Now, I have noticed when I have tried to use E6000 or Fix-All glue on top of something that has Mod Podge on it, it doesn't stick. But I have noticed that this does. So just a tip there. Then I took some of my braided jute cord that I love. I went around and hot glued it around my frame. I took some more of that cord and put tape on the ends, ran them through the hangers, and then I'm just going to tie knots on the front part of the picture there. I'm going to tie knots in that cord, trim off the excess, and that is all there is for this. Super simple, but oh no, I'm sorry, I'm making a finger bow. I did a double loop finger bow, so I went around my fingers twice. I'm going to take that extra long tail, run it through between my fingers, come up around those loops between my fingers, and then go into that loop I just made and pull tightly. Then I hot glue that to the top of the house, and then it's done. I really love how this came out. It's so pretty. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Okay, friends, I just wanted to stop in again. I love doing this because I love talking with you. And I really want to express how much you guys mean to me. I am so thankful every day for all of you guys who come back, you watch my videos, you comment, you like, you share, all of that stuff. And I just truly appreciate each one of you. If you are new here and if you are enjoying today's video, and if you like home decor on a budget, then I do invite you to hit that red subscribe button before you go. Become part of our YouTube family. Let me know in the comments that you're new here. I'd love to get to know you as well. And yeah, I don't know what else to say other than thank you guys all so very much. So with all that, let's continue on with the video. Okay, DIY number 3. So for this DIY, I'm going to use my heat gun here, and I'm just going over my sign. This is one of the MDF rounds from Dollar Tree. I loosened up that glue, and then I'm just starting to pull off that paper. Now, I have to tell you, after I got done recording, it just started coming off in big chunks, so it really wasn't as tedious as it looks. Kathy Jo got me this cool scraper, and I'm using this to scrape off all the excess. I skipped a part. I did spray it wet when I got the top part off. Then I used that scraper to remove the rest of the paper, and then I painted it with my Waverly chalk paint in the color, was that white or plaster? I think it was white. And then once it was dry, I added Mod Podge to the top of it. I guess I missed that step. And then, no, I guess that was the step I just did. Oh my goodness, I am having a morning. You guys, my house is full of people. And it has been crazy. I not only do I have my grandkids here, but I have 2 nephews and a niece here visiting. And yeah, it's been crazy. So I'm very glad I even got this video out. I went over it again with some more Mod Podge to protect that that napkin, and which I think that napkin was just gorgeous. I don't remember who I got it from. I think it was Kathy Jo, but not positive. It might have been Shirley Gutierrez as well. Sorry, but I think I mixed up some of my napkins when I was going through them, and I couldn't remember who I got them from. So I got this sign from Dollar Tree for $1, and I removed all the ribbon that was around it and the ugly little plant that was on it, and I painted around it with my Waverly chalk paint in the color lavender. Then when I was done with that, this was all dry, so I went ahead and sanded off the excess. And then I took some lavender picks from Walmart, these little mini roses from Hobby Lobby, and I'm tying them together and just wrapping the stems with my twine, and then I just tied a knot at the end. Then I'm going to staple this onto the side of my little sign here from Dollar Tree, and then I made a little bow with this ribbon from Dollar Tree. I just did the awareness ribbon, scrunch it up in the middle, and tie it with some jute twine. And then I dovetailed the ends as well. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue there and add that to the front of my flowers. Then I'm just going over the back with some more of my Tight Bond Quick and Thick multi-purpose glue, and I'm just going to cover that so that it will stick to the front of my wood round here, or my MDF round. I guess it's not wood. And then I took some twine here. I put tape around both ends, fed it through my hole, and then I'm going to tie a knot, and then I'm going to put, I think I put the bent part of the twine through the knotted part of the twine. I hope that makes sense. I always have to play around because I always forget which end it goes through what. See there. Okay, and then pull tight. Make sure that knot's in the back, and there is a hanger, and I love that paper. It is so beautiful. You have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. Okay, it is a time for a celebration of your recreation. And we have these beautiful pieces from Jane. I love them, Jane. Thank you so much for sharing. And then we have Dawn made this really pretty beehive with that bee charger. I love it done. And then look at these wonderful wood rounds that Belinda made. I love them all. And then these pretty cutting boards from Peg. You guys did an amazing job. Thank you, ladies, for sharing. And if you have a creation or recreation you would like me to showcase, you can send pictures to my email address that's listed there, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Okay, DIY number 4. So I'm going to take one of these cutting boards from Dollar Tree. I'm going to take some of these little wood blocks from Dollar Tree. And yes, that's my little granddaughter's hand there. She was looking at all my paint brushes, saying how they look like makeup brushes. How does an 8-year-old know about makeup brushes? Oh my goodness. Anyways, I'm taking my Titebond multi-purpose glue here, the quick and thick, and I'm just brushing it on the bottom and the side of each of those cubes so that it sticks to my cutting board, and then they stick to each other. Now these cubes are not all the exact same, and so yeah, it kind of makes it a little difficult. So when I got to the end, there was a big gap, so I just took my miter shears and it just cut through that thing like butter, and I cut it down to the size that I needed. I added my Titebond glue there, and then I turned it over and I took some of these little, they look like ribbon spools. I got a bag of these from Hobby Lobby. I always look for when they're 40% off. And then I'm just using my Titebond again to glue those on the bottom. Then I painted the whole thing with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster. Once that was all dry, I took my Mod Podge and I'm just filling it into the middle part. Now, if you look at that, you can see that the blocks don't look even. That's all because that they are just not uniform in their shape, which is unfortunate. But anyways, I took this beautiful napkin, and I'm pretty sure this came from Shirley Gutierrez. I just thought it was just gorgeous, and so I decided to go ahead and fussy cut all around this rose because I just wanted the rose. I didn't want any of the napkin. Of course, if you have something like this that you don't want to fussy cut, you can always use the water method or whatever. Now, again, I know not everyone's going to have these exact items that I'm using, but that's okay. You can make it your own. Use whatever you have in your stash or whatever you find and just, make it your own. Just kind of use this for inspiration. So I laid my rose there, added my parchment paper again, and then again I'm using my heat press. Now, because I painted used the Mod Podge all around that inside of that tray, my parchment paper was kind of sticking there. So I tried to shake it easily to remove it, and then I just kind of rubbed it in, and then I am just going over it again with some Mod Podge. I think if I would have let it dry a little bit longer, I probably wouldn't have done that, but just beware, that does happen sometimes. And there is this wonderful little tray, be perfect in a bedroom place to throw your rings or watches or jewelry. I just love it. Or, keys or whatever. You have to let me know what you think about that one as well. Okay, DIY number 5. So I'm going to take this jar. This was a jam jar, and I am going to use my painter's tape. I'm going to go all the way around it. I'm trying to kind of measure, just trying to make sure it's pretty even and not going crooked. And then I'm just measuring there with my ruler. And then after I am convinced that it's going on straight, I just continue to go around until my ends meet. Then I'm going to cut the excess there. And then I'm going to paint the bottom with my Waverly chalk paint in the color white. Now, side note, I did clean that glass really well with some rubbing alcohol before I painted it. After it was dry, I removed my painter's tape there. And then I am going to take this beautiful napkin. This came from Kathy Jo. It's just gorgeous. So when I was going through my napkins trying to figure out what to make, this just caught my eye, and I'm like, I've got to do something with this. It is just so beautiful. So I'm going to, again, fussy cut around this, what is that? Hummingbird. And then I did take some of the flowers and fussy cut around some of the flowers as well. Then I'm going to, I laid out the napkin, the flowers that I wanted to laid them out where I wanted them, added the Mod Podge, and then just real gently tap that napkin into the Mod Podge, and then I realized I didn't have enough there, so I added a little bit more, taking a baby wipe, just kind of wiping around the napkin, the excess of the Mod Podge. But I don't know why I did that, because I end up, after I have this all Mod Podge, I end up going around all the glass with Mod Podge so that it all had the even look. In case there was any strokes from my Mod Podge, I wanted it all to look even. So that's why I went around all the glass and the paint. I actually did go over the paint too to help protect the paint so it doesn't scratch off so easily. So I'm just going around the whole thing here, adding my Mod Podge and my napkin to it. And then I'm going to add some more of my flowers there. And then I'm going to add my cute little hummingbird here. Oh, it's so cute. I just love this so much. Anyways, and then that's when I went over the rest of it with the Mod Podge. Then I let it dry, and once it was all dry, I took some of this beautiful lace ribbon I got from Hobby Lobby a few years ago. This was the one that I got on my first Christmas with my channel. I'm going to glue all of this all around the top. I just thought this was so pretty. And then I had this lace trim too, which is something I got as well from Hobby Lobby, and I just went around the top part of that. Then I had these beautiful peonies that came from Amazon. I got these a couple years ago, and I just keep avoiding putting them in anything because they're so pretty. I just love looking at them. So I thought, why not put them in a vase and then leave the vase where I can see it and enjoy those flowers. So I'm just going to fill my vase up with these. Now, again, you could use whatever you have on hand, but these are just gorgeous. So then I thought, well, I need to add a little bit of blue. So I found these. These I think I got at Halloween one year at Dollar Tree because they kind of have a dark and light tone to them. I just added a few of those in between to kind of add to that blue that's on those flowers. And that's all there is for this. I think it turned out so beautiful. I absolutely love that little hummingbird, and those flowers are just gorgeous. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well in the comment box, and let me know which one was your favorite today. The final reveal is coming right up. So make sure that you check out Emily's channel and Buffie's channel. Make sure you check out the playlist. I'm sure you're going to get all kinds of decoupage ideas. I stuck with just napkins this time instead of doing a mixture of things, but I'm sure everybody else will have all different ideas. So with all that, you guys, I will be back again on Sunday with another video. I hope you guys have a truly wonderfully blessed weekend, and with all that being said, I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.